I was chatting with someone and they just kept on complaining over and over and over again. They would say phrases like, "That person is so self centered. Do you know what they did to me? I can't stand that they talk about themselves all the time. Why do I help them? I always help them. It's all about them." And, sadly, this is the type of typical conversation that I have with a lot of people in my life. And they could be people who I work with, people who I connect with at church, and they at least are giving off some pretty selfish vibes because interestingly enough, over, a 30-minute period, I count anywhere from like 60 to 100, maybe 120 eyes. And I get very few questions about myself. They talk about their kids, they don't ask me about mine, and there's this constant berating of other people and going after their sins. It's amazing how people who struggle with something in particular really like to complain or dislike or even hate other people that have a similar trait. And that's most likely because they haven't dealt with it themselves. I remember when I was growing up, I really struggled with anger. And, anger would just get the better of me. And it was really sad. I really felt horrible that I acted that way at times. But I remember one time in particular that, I was in a cool off period from one of my anger spells. And some family members got really, really angry with me. And they were yelling at me about how I was yelling and how I was acting. And I took a step back and I said to myself, what they're saying is true. They're yelling at me and they're angry at me, but still what they're saying is actually quite true. I could continue to be angry and be angry that they're angry with my anger, or I could just say, okay, I'm angry and no matter the source, I got to deal with it. And I dealt with it. And I have been dealing with it. I've gone to counseling. I have accountability partners. I've read books. I've done mini seminars. I've gone to, different how do you say, different retreats and stuff like that to deal with my anger. The people in my life who are calling me out on it have not, and that's between them and God. That's their prerogative. But you can take things from people even when it's not from maybe the best place that they're giving it, and just realize that a truth is a truth, no matter where it's coming from. But that doesn't mean you have to listen to them all the time, and you can also set up boundaries and move yourself away from them as well. So